Hey guys, Joe from American Trucks, and today I'm going to be reviewing and installing the MBRP 3-inch P-Series single exhaust system with a side exit, fitting all 2007 to 2013 5.3 liter powered Silverado or Sierra 1500s, excluding the extended cab with the long box. Now this exhaust is going to be perfect for the 5.3 owner who's looking to improve the sound out of their truck with the most budget-friendly exhaust system we currently have on the website for the 5.3. As you guys just heard, this exhaust is mid-range loud and gets a 3 out of 5 on our Wake the Neighbor scale. It's enough to know it's an upgraded exhaust, but not enough to draw any unwanted attention to your truck. But the tone that came out of this thing was really surprising. This kit is manufactured out of 3-inch diameter 16-gauge steel, which is then coated in aluminum to help protect it from the elements. It also features the P-Series muffler, which is a straight-through design and adds a lot to the tone and volume of this kit. And like I said earlier, this is going to be an extremely cost-effective kit. Coming in at around $300, there's really nothing that beats it in terms of price. If you were looking to take it up a notch, the Installer series would be the next level up. That one's going to be a slightly different design, which includes an exhaust tip. If you want to take it beyond that, you'd be looking at the XP or the Pro series, which are going to be 409 and 304 stainless respectively. Before we move on to the install, I just wanted to make a quick note that this exhaust is intended to work with every cab and bed setup except the extended cab with the long bed. So the truck we're working on here, the crew cab with the 5'8" bed, will use the full length of the inlet pipe, but if you have anything else, you will have to cut that down the sides, which bumps up the difficulty a little bit. With that being said, I'm gonna give it an easy 2 out of 3 wrenches on our difficulty meter, and it should only take you an hour or two to get it installed. So let me show you how it's done. For this install, you will need an impact 13mm socket, 15mm socket, exhaust hanger removal tool, spray lubricant, and a saw to cut your inlet pipe unless you have a crew cab with the 5'8" bed or the extended cab with the 6'6" bed. So first things first, we got to get our stock exhaust out of here, and that is going to be pretty easy. We're going to start by loosening up this clamp with a 13mm socket. Then there's 4 hangers along the length of the exhaust that we're going to grease up and use an exhaust hanger removal tool to get those out. Then we're going to drop the exhaust in one piece since we're on a lift. If you are working on the ground, you may need to make some cuts to get that out. And with all that removed, we can now pull the exhaust out. So with our factory exhaust off the truck, I just wanted to take a second to put it on the ground next to our new MBRP system and point out some of the key differences. And namely, we're ditching this big old factory muffler and that flex pipe up front, as well as all this rusty tubing for some fresh aluminized steel and MBRP straight through muffler. We're also bumping up the diameter of the tailpipe to 3 inches, which is going to exit in the factory location right behind the rear passenger tire. So let me show you how to get this new MBRP system on your truck. We're going to start with the factory clamp and the inlet pipe. So before you hang that up, I just wanted to say you might have to cut this depending on the wheelbase of your truck. The truck we're working on today, which is the crew cab with the 5'8" bed, you're going to use the full length of this and not make any cuts. But if you have anything else, you most likely will need to. But thankfully, MBRP includes a nice graph in the instructions to let you know what length to cut this to. But once you've made any necessary cuts, you can hang that up and secure it using the factory clamp and tighten that down with a 13mm socket. Now before we tighten this down all the way, I just wanted to say, and this is a good rule of thumb for all exhaust kits, we're just going to make this hand tight for now. That's going to leave us some much needed wiggle room when we near the end of the install. And before we mount our muffler to the back of that inlet pipe, you have to put a hanger clamp on there first in order to get that to seat correctly. Next, we can secure our muffler using another 3-inch clamp. And I'm just going to use a 15mm socket to tighten those down, make it a little bit more manageable. And next is going to be the same process for our over axle pipe. Just going to put another 3-inch clamp on there, make sure it's seated in both of these hanger isolators, and then secure it to the back of our muffler. So lastly, we can mount our tailpipe again using another 3-inch clamp provided in the kit, making sure it's mounted in this isolator here. Once you have this mounted up, you can then make any adjustments and run through and tighten down all the hardware. And lastly, for the factory clamp, we're just going to swap back to a 13mm socket. With everything tightened down, you can now lower the truck and check for leaks. And that is going to do it for my review and install of the MBRP 3-inch P-Series single exhaust system with a side exit. Keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.